Packet ramen at 5 different levels from 2 minutes to 2 days, starting at level 1. So cook your packet ramen as normal, and then while that's cooking, you're gonna whisk the egg really vigorously until it's fully homogeneous. Now at this point, you've got a choice to make what way you're gonna go. To get ribboned egg, you're gonna pour the egg in very slowly, turn the heat off, and place the lid on and leave it there for 1 minute. For the thickened soup option, we're gonna pour in the egg really slowly while the heat's still on, and we're gonna vigorously mix it. Same ingredients, one slightly different technique, and 2 quite different bowls of instant ramen. For me, I'm a ribboned egg type of guy. Yum. Level 2, and it's time to add a little bit of garnish, which is going to take your boring looking bowl of noodles and level it up to a point where you're happy to give it to your babe. But seriously, if you're trying to impress, maybe do a bit more than this. Wait for level 5. So we're going to start the same as before. Boiling water, take your ramen. This is my favorite packet of ramen, the Shin Black Ramen. Not sponsored, I just like it. Add your seasoning packets first, makes it mix easier. And a big spoonful of peanut butter. The peanut butter just makes it more luxurious by adding another layer of fat in there. Noodles in. It's the best bit. While that's cooking, we're gonna slice a spring onion. Gonna keep the white and the green parts separate. Time to add the egg, and same as before, just how you like it. Heat off, white part, stir it through, into a bowl. Oh, that was a mess. Spring onion greens on the top. Chili crisp if you like a little bit spicy. So there you go, 4 minutes max, and you've completely levered up your bowl of ramen just by adding a garnish. Now you don't even have to do this one. You could do something as simple as add some nori flakes, or add some fried shallots, or sesame oil. There's so many ways to add garnish to a bowl of ramen like this, and it takes it from good to great. Do you want to see if I can put all that in my mouth?
Sure.
No. So while the last one was still technically 2-minute noodles, this one we're gonna do a little bit differently. We're also gonna add some protein. It's only gonna take you about 20 minutes, but in my opinion, the addition of the protein makes this a far more well-rounded meal. Now, I'm using a piece of Wagyu fillet because I'm a fancy boy like that, but you can use any protein you want. Leftover roast chicken's one of my personal favorites. Frozen prawns, another fantastic option. Old mate Josh Wiseman puts bacon in his. Chopped up cold sausage. I couldn't even say that. Or even leftover cold sausage from the barbecue. So for this one, we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're going from a soupy broth to a really creamy broth. So I've got some water here, and we've got our 3 packets. This is the veggies. We don't need that. We have the spicy packet and the soup base. Soup base in the water. Now we're gonna take your serving bowl, and you're gonna add the spicy packet. We're gonna add an egg yolk, mayonnaise, and our finely chopped spring onion whites. Looks like a Michelin-star dish. I'm gonna cook our noodles in the broth. Noodles are 60% cooked. We're gonna pour in about 100 mils of the broth and stir vigorously. Now the noodles go in, leaving the rest of the broth behind, and stir through the sauce. Time to garnish. We're gonna start with our protein of choice. For me, it's this steak, because I'm a fancy boy. You eat this with chopsticks, so think about that. Slice it nice and thin. Just make sure it tastes all right. Steak on top. A little bit of chili crisp. Spring onion greens. There you go. In 20 minutes, you got a dish that could sit on a restaurant menu. Maybe. That's so good, you could actually give it a babe. That's like yum. If you've got a bit more than 20 minutes and you want to try something a little bit different, this is for you. We're gonna make a ramen pancake. It's kind of a take on an okonomiyaki, the Osaka version of that, but a little bit different. First things first, let's cook our noodles as normal. That's not boiling. Once your noodles are about 70% cooked, we're gonna pass them and keep the broth, keep the noodles too. Now, we're just gonna let this broth chill out for about 10 minutes to let the temperature come down a little bit. Our broth has chilled a little bit, so we're gonna put in our thinly sliced spring onion whites. Then, we've just got some standard flour, some all-purpose flour, and we're gonna whisk that in to create a batter. So you're looking for like a wet pancake consistency. Next, we're gonna add our noodles. So I got a 10-inch pan over a high heat with about a tablespoon of olive oil. You want the pan hot, but not ripping hot. In our batter goes. Spread it out even. Now you can add some protein. I've got some raw prawns here. You could do chicken as well. Sliced sausage, bit of frankfurter, some bacon. Now turn that down to a medium heat. Do I tempt fate? Flip it. That means yes. Once your prawns start to go opaque or they start cooking and you release it from the bottom, we're gonna be really brave and go for the pancake flip. Absolutely not. If you don't feel confident with a pancake flip, you could do it with a plate. So slide it, put it onto a plate, slide it off, put it back in. But don't be a coward, just do it in the pan. All right. Out she comes. Time to garnish. Kewpie mayo, bit of bulldog sauce, spring onion greens. There we go, a ramen pancake. Now, I know it's a bit left of field from all the other ones, but if you're kind of sick of eating packet ramen as a soup, this is a fantastic option. And finally, 2-minute ramen that actually takes 2 days. This is ridiculous. So we're gonna prepare a few things the day before. First things first, instead of water, we're gonna use stock. And we're gonna make an Asian style stock. So with Asian stocks, very clean. We're not adding any vegetables. So I've got some chicken frames here. I'm gonna cover them with water. Then we're actually gonna bring it to a simmer for like 10, 15 minutes. We're gonna discard all that water and we're gonna put fresh water in there. We're trying to get rid of any impurities, any of the blood left in the frames, anything like that. And it's gonna give us a really clean chicken stock in about 3 or 4 hours. So while that stock's on, we're gonna start preparing our char siu pork. Got a piece of pork belly here. It's pretty simple. We're gonna roll this pork belly up. Sometimes you gotta trim a little bit off, or we'll just kind of sneak out the side. Nice and tight. Take some butcher string. So place your pork back on a rack, and now we're gonna start building the braising liquid. So you want an oven safe kind of Dutch oven or something. To that, we're gonna add 3 spring onions, cut to about 4 centimeter pieces. 3 cloves of garlic, simply crushed. Oh, that one really crushed. And some slices of ginger. We got sake, mirin, and soy sauce. Pork in, including your little bonus piece. Nestle it down, lid on, into a 160-degree oven for about an hour and a half. So pork's in the oven, our stock is on the stove. It's time to make our soy sauce eggs. I got half a dozen eggs here. We're gonna boil them for 6.5 minutes before we plunge them into ice water, peel them, and then we can get the soy sauce over the top. So for our soy sauce marinade, we've got 20 grams of sugar, 500 grams or mils of water, 80 mils black vinegar, Chinese black vinegar, and 200 mils of soy sauce. We're gonna stir this well. Then once we've got our peeled cold eggs, in they go. To the fridge, bro. Now, these can be ready in as little as 2 hours, but honestly, I prefer them if they're in the fridge for 48 hours. So I'm just gonna flip this over. Now it's cooked. We're gonna let it cool at room temperature until it's cold enough to then put it in the fridge and rest it overnight. And our chicken stock's ready. So we're gonna pass it through a fine sieve and then into the fridge to cool overnight. Ready for our noodles tomorrow. Good morning. All right, it's the next day. We've got our chicken stock heating up to cook our noodles in. Our char siu pork's chilled overnight and is ready to be sliced and cooked. Our soy sauce eggs have been well rested and marinated. And it's time to bring it all together. First things first, let's get some pork cooking. Angry. Look, the reality is this is kind of complete overkill for a packet of instant noodles, but the old saying goes, if you're gonna do something, do it right. Or don't be an idiot and just whisk an egg and some peanut butter into your noodles. Calm down. So our chicken stock's boiling, same process now as if this was water. Packets in, mix them through. Once they're mixed through, we're gonna add our noodles and cook them for about 2 minutes. It's also worth mentioning that you don't have to make your own stock. If you've got half a litre or 200 mils even of stock in your fridge that's otherwise going to go off, use that to cook your noodles. It's all about layers of flavour. Spring onion whites in with the noodles, soy sauce egg. Don't use your fingers, you grub. Oh, look at that. Bloody perfect. Time to serve. Noodles in, broth on top. Make sure your noodles are nicely piled in the centre. Big old piece of char siu. Spring onion greens, soy sauce egg. There you go. How to make something take 2 days when it should only take 2 minutes. But will it be worth it? Let's find out. The char siu's pretty good though. Oh, it's pretty yummy. Was it worth it? Man, I don't know. To be perfectly honest, 9 times out of 10, I'm making number 3. But I think there's lots of good lessons in there about how to use texture, how to add protein, and how to garnish a packet of 2-minute noodles to take it from good to great. Thanks for watching, legends. Like this video if you took anything from it, subscribe if you're not, and we'll see you next week for another recipe. Peace.